Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan preside over an award ceremony in Tokyo. Crown Prince Haakon of Norway visits San Francisco, California. Queen Margrethe of Denmark celebrates her 84th birthday in Fredensborg. And the Grand Ducal couple of Luxembourg begin their state visit to the Kingdom of Belgium. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name is Alexandra, and welcome to your Royal Daily News for Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. In Brussels, their Royal Highnesses, Grand Duke Henri and Grand Duchess Maria Therese of Luxembourg began their three-day state visit to the Kingdom of Belgium at the invitation of Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians. Accompanying the Grand Ducal couple on the state visit are the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Xavier Bettel, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Gilles Roth, the new Minister of the Economy, Mr. Lex Delis, and the Minister of Defense, Ms. Yuriko Bacchus. A large economic delegation consisting of representatives from more than 125 companies from the circular economy, renewable energies, health technologies, finance, tourism, cybersecurity, defense, and space cooperation sectors are also accompanying the Grand Ducal couple. According to a press release from the Royal Court of Belgium, with, quote, personal ties that unite the two ruling families, Belgium and Luxembourg, are closely linked on historical, political, socio-economic, and cultural levels. This state visit demonstrates the desire of the two countries to continue to invest in their bilateral relations and to cooperate in areas as varied as sustainable economic development, e-health, space, defense, and even education. End quote. In addition to political, economic, and cultural meetings, the program for the state visit includes visits to companies in Brussels, as well as in Ghent and Liège. The state visit began, along with a little good luck rain, with the traditional welcoming ceremony on the Place des Palais, which included the playing of the national anthems, as well as the inspection of the guards of honor by the King and the Grand Duke. Moments later, Their Majesties and their Royal Highnesses walked back to the Palais Royal de Bruxelles. Once inside, they posed for photos for the press, signed the Book of Honor, and held a receiving line that included the ministers and business delegation from the Grand Duchy. Privately, Their Majesties and the Grand Ducal couple exchanged gifts. In the mid-morning, the Grand Ducal couple arrived at the tomb of the unknown soldier, where they placed a wreath at the foot of the memorial and held a moment of silence. In the afternoon, the Grand Ducal couple visited the Palais de la Nation, the seat of the Belgian Federal Parliament, where they held a meeting with the President of the Senate and the President of the House of Representatives. Thereafter, Their Majesties and the Grand Ducal couple visited the Brussels City Hall, where they held a meeting with the mayor. In the evening, Their Majesties hosted a lavish gala state banquet in honor of the Grand Ducal couple at Château de Lacan. Guests attending the gala state banquet included the Prime Minister of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, Mr. Luc Frieden, and his wife, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, Mr. Xavier Bettel, and his husband, members of the Belgian government, and distinguished guests. On the occasion of royal back-to-back birthdays, the Royal Court of Belgium and the Cour Grand Ducal issued a joint press release and new photos of His Majesty King Philippe of the Belgians and His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg. On Monday, His Majesty the King celebrated his 64th birthday. This morning, the Grand Duke celebrated his 69th birthday. Keeping on the birthday theme here, Her Royal Highness, Princess Eleanor of Belgium, is celebrating her 16th birthday. Born in Anderlecht, Belgium on April 16, 2008, the princess is the fourth child of Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians. Back in Luxembourg City, His Royal Highness Prince Sebastian of Luxembourg is celebrating his 32nd birthday. Born Prince Sebastian Henri Marie Guillaume, Prince of Luxembourg, Prince of Nassau and Bourbon-Parma at the Grand Duchess Charlotte Maternity Hospital in Luxembourg City in 1992, he is the youngest child of Grand Duke Henri and Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg. This afternoon, Her Royal Highness, Hereditary Grand Duchess Stephanie of Luxembourg, held an audience with the Ombudsman for Children and Young People, Mr. Charles Schmidt, at the Palais Grand Ducal. According to the Cour Grand Ducal, the OMYP is an independent institution responsible for the application of the International Convention on the Rights of the Child. This morning's audience follows Mr. Schmidt's presentation of the Ombudsman's annual report to the Chamber of Deputies on Monday. In the report, there were recommendations in the areas for improvement relating to access to pediatric care, mental health, and more, quote, general respect for children's rights, end quote. In Madrid, Their Majesties King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain arrived at the State Pavilion of Terminal T4 at the Adolfo Suarez Madrid Barajas Airport to participate in a farewell ceremony ahead of their state visit to the Kingdom of the Netherlands beginning on Wednesday, April 17th. Accompanying Their Majesties on the three-day state visit is the Secretary of State for Commerce, Ms. Siana Mendez, the President of the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, Mr. José Luis Bonet, and the President of the Spanish Confederation of Business Organizations, Mr. Antonio Garamendi. In Fredensborg, Her Majesty Queen Margrethe of Denmark is celebrating her 84th birthday. On the occasion of her special day, the Royal Court of Denmark released 2 new photos of Her Majesty taken at one of her favorite homes, Fredensborg Slot. At noon, Her Majesty Queen Margrethe, accompanied by her cute little doggie, Talia, Their Majesties King Frederick X and Queen Mary of Denmark, and Her Royal Highness Princess Benedicte of Denmark, appeared on the steps at Fredensborg Slot to wave to the hundreds of well-wishers who came out to wish the Queen a very happy birthday. After the well-wishers sang happy birthday and the changing of the guard, Queen Margrethe celebrated her birthday privately with family and friends. And her cute little doggie. That dog is so cute. This morning in Copenhagen, one of the most famous landmarks in the capital, the Danish Stock Exchange, was destroyed by a massive fire. In a statement, His Majesty King Frederick X of Denmark said, quote, "This morning we woke up to a sad sight. When smoke over Copenhagen's roofs bore witness to the devastating fire at the Stock Exchange. An important part of our architectural cultural heritage was and continues to be in flames. For 400 years, Christian IV's building Børsen has been a significant landmark for Copenhagen. Through generations, the characteristic dragon spire has helped to define Copenhagen as a city of towers. Until today, we have regarded the historic building as a beautiful symbol of our capital and a building that we, as a nation, have been proud of. The Queen and I would like to thank those who, since the early morning, have ensured that no one has been injured and who fought to save as much as possible of both the building as well as the many cultural treasures and works of art that the Børsen contains. Signed, Frederick R." End quote. Oh my gosh. That's really shocking. I really hope no one was hurt. Poor Copenhagen. Such a beautiful city. I highly recommend, please visit Denmark. It's a fantastic country, and Copenhagen is an amazing city. On Monday afternoon, Their Royal Highnesses, Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden, visited the headquarters of Ericsson outside of Stockholm. During the visit, the Crown Princess couple received demonstrations of new technology, including virtual and augmented reality, 6G, and remote-controlled vehicles, as well as Ericsson's work with sustainability and social responsibility. On Monday, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Haakon of Norway, accompanied by the Norwegian Minister for Business, the Minister for Digitalization and Administration, and a large Norwegian business delegation, began their 4-day official visit to Northern California and Seattle, Washington. According to the Royal Court of Norway, the purpose of the visit is to promote business cooperation with companies in Northern California and Washington state within the green transition and digitalization. The United States, specifically California and Washington, are important allies and partners to Norway in achieving the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals and the Green Transformation. California and Washington are home to some of the world's largest and, quote, most trend-setting technology companies, not least in the field of artificial intelligence, end quote. The visit began in San Francisco, with the Crown Prince giving the keynote speech during the opening of the California-Norway Business Festival. According to the Royal Court of Norway, one of the main topics of discussion during the festival was, quote, how technology and artificial intelligence can be used to achieve the goals of a green transition and a reduced climate footprint. The business seminar was also attended by several representatives of the American authorities and a number of representatives from American business and startup companies, end quote. In the afternoon, the Crown Prince attended a seminar on the, quote, electrification of ferry traffic, end quote, during a cruise around San Francisco Bay. Before the seminar, the Crown Prince enjoyed the view of beautiful Marin County, the skyline of downtown San Francisco, and protesters blocking and holding up traffic for hours on the Golden Gate Bridge. Anyway, during the seminar, the topic focused on the, quote, authorities' plans for the electrification of ferries and quays and what Norwegian suppliers can offer. The trip was a meeting place to connect actors on the Norwegian and Californian sides, end quote. In the late afternoon, the Crown Prince and the ministers held a meeting with the Director of Sustainability and representatives from Google. During the meeting, the discussion focused on artificial intelligence and sustainability, as well as Google's investments in Norway. The fun-filled day ended with the Crown Prince and the ministers hosting a reception for Norwegian and American businesses at Shack 15 at the Ferry Building in downtown San Francisco. This morning in Monte Carlo, His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco, attended a commemoration ceremony on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the death of French playwright and novelist Marcel Pagnol on Marcel Pagnol Square at Trocadero Gardens. The late Mr. Pagnol was a resident of the Principality of Monaco, a close friend of Prince Pierre of Monaco, as well as a close confidant of Prince Rene III. While living in the Principality, Mr. Pagnol wrote several plays, as well as organized the premiere of his film entitled Topaz in 1951. He also attended historic events in the Principality, including the 25th anniversary celebrations of the reign of Prince Louis II in 1947, and attended the wedding of Prince Rene III to Miss Grace Kelly at the Cathédrale de Monaco. In a press release from the prince's government, it noted that the sovereign prince wanted a day of tribute to be devoted to Mr. Pagnol to, quote, introduce new generations to his work, end quote. At 3 p.m., there was a roundtable discussion at the Variety Theatre in Le Condamine, organized by the Archives du Palais and the Audiovisual Institute, held under the theme Pagnol, le Monégasque. And finally, in Tokyo, their Imperial Majesties, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Moscow, Japan, presided over the 2024 Japan Prize Award ceremony. In a press release from the Japan Prize Foundation, the creation of the prize was, quote, motivated by the Japanese government's desire to contribute to the development of science and technology worldwide by establishing a prestigious international award. The Japan Prize was established in 1983 with a cabinet endorsement and is supported by numerous private donations. The award honors scientists and researchers from around the world, recognizing individuals who have contributed significantly to the peace and prosperity of humankind through original and outstanding achievements that have greatly advanced the progress of science and technology. End quote. The winners of the 2024 Japan Prize for Resources, Energy, the Environment, and Social Infrastructure went to Professor John Wallace from the United States and Professor Sir Brian J. Hoskins from the United Kingdom. The 2024 Japan Prize for Medical Science and Pharmaceutical Science went to Professor Ronald M. Evans from the United States. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I will be back on Wednesday, April 17th, with all the latest royal news and events, including King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain's highly anticipated state visit to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Crown Princess Mette-Marit of Norway's attendance at a para-ice hockey match in Skien, and so much more. So, I hope you all will join me on Wednesday. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, comment below, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss a new episode. Until then, have a wonderful afternoon, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.